A 9 fill and a 166. Quick wing eagle. Back in the pocket, another strike. Good Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Welcome to Money Match 6. Here's the 4-time defending champions of John Winchell and Brian Fuller Jr. against the challengers of Nick Zuffelato and Dave Barber. And we are underway, coming to you live. Well, not live. We are recording live from Exeter Lanes up here in Exeter, New Hampshire. Justin Scali on the play-by-play alongside Bob Lee as always. And we are underway. John Winchell to start things off on lane 5. And right through the middle and a spread eagle just like that. As usual, this is a production of a spread eagle production. Can't get the words out of my mouth right now. Freshy with the eagle minus the 2. He's got a piece of wood up there. John cuts it over, leaves just the 2. Freshy cuts the 3 over and gets the 7, but the 4 stays. And John gets the 10 to start off. And Freshy gets his 10 as well. As with every money match, the format is simple. This is doubles, 5 strings total pinfall, winner take all. Bowlers are throwing in $500 of their own money, plus an additional 5 coming in from the house's owner, Rob Ficara. John off to the left, only takes 3 there. And Freshy crosses over, leaves a 6-10. Winchell's got the cluster, a 6 on the right on the 7 pin. Goes outside on the head pin, good bid. The ball jumps into the left corner, but he leaves the 5-10. Freshy with a clean look at the 6-10, and he's got it. So Freshy gets the first mark of the match, 2 boxes in. And Winchell just slides by the 5 for an $8. So John Winchell had the shortest drive of everyone to get here. Lives in Brentwood, New Hampshire, just a few short minutes away. Bowls right here at Exeter Lanes with a league average of 122. And Winchell gets a splash ball for a strike. Strike in the 3rd. And Freshy off to the right, leaves the 4 horsemen left with the 6-10 in the corner, so 4 on his fill. Nick Freshy Zuffelato comes to us from Peabody over on down on the North Shore. Has a league average of 119. He bowls out a Metro Bowl in Peabody. He is the captain of his Friday Pro League team. And just slides by there. Here comes Cavalry. Get 2 pins wobbling there. The 7 goes. The 6 stays up. Okay, Freshy with the 1 and the 3 left there. He cleans out for the 10. So Freshy at 34 through 3. John at 30 plus 2. John with as I previously mentioned, a 122 league average this year. Has a high single of 190, high triple of 467, and a high five of 744. The splash ball not going to work this time. Spread eagle on the first ball. Freshy with a high single of 200, high triple of 474, and a high five of 777, which I witnessed. As he drops 8, leaves the 5 and the 8. Freshy threw that in a King of the Palace qualifier at New Palace Lanes in Fitchburg, which sadly no longer exists. As, John with a chop again, only a 5 fill on the strike. That puts him at 35 through 3. And Freshy splits the 2-pinner right in half as he bounces back with a spare in the 4th. And Winchell off to the left with an 8 box. So he's at 43 through 4. Tight one to start. Freshy sitting at 44 in the ball. John off to the left, drops 7. He's got the 1, 8, and the 10. Got a piece of wood out in front. That will have to get removed, provided it doesn't roll into the gutter. And Freshy buries it over on the 1-2 side again. 9 fell on the spare, so he's at 53 through 4. Got a wide open 6-pin with nothing in front of it. And our mechanic Darren goes down and shags the loose pin as it came out in front of the deadwood line. So, don't know if this wood's going to factor or not.
Good, Johnny.
And wasn't going to make a difference there. Takes out just the head pin. So John looking at the 8 to 10, and Freshy picks up his single. 2 marks in a row to finish the first half. So as Freshy ends his first half sitting 63 in a ball. And John Winchell with only an 8 box, he sits at 51. The challengers off to a good start with an early 12-pin lead. Now the Inca step up. We got Brian Fuller Jr. on lane 5 and Dave Barber on lane 4. Fuller coming to us from Newburyport. Had a 122 average this winter at Academy Lanes. As he gets the split to break up, he drops 9. Barber buries it in the 1-2. And that 9-pin is wobbling. Is it going to fall? No, it's not. And Fuller gets the single for the spare. Barber matches with a spare of his own on the 2-pinner. So matching spares to start.
First money match at Dave Barber.
Yep, that is correct.
We had Nick Zuffelato in Money Match 1 last May. The first one of these is about 12 months ago to this day. He and Nate.
Pretty close.
Yeah. It was.
Fuller back on the head pin, little full. Drop 7. He's got the 6, 7, and the 10. Barber only 3.
Of course, Fuller Jr. and Winchell going for their 5th in a row. They've won $10,000 in the last.
That is just incredible if you think about it.
So 13 for Dave.
13 for Barber after 1. And he's got it. What a shot. 2 in a row for Dave Barber. And Fuller with a 9. He sits at 26 through 2. Dave Barber, 23 and a ball.
Yeah, this is one of the first leads that they've even faced. Winchell and Fuller have been running the table since they started. A couple times they've gotten close. Strike there for Fuller.
And just like that,
spoke too
Fuller.
soon.
Yep. Fuller gets his first strike of the match. 3 boxes in. Barber with a 7 drop on his spare. And he gets the friendly kick off the wall. The piece of wood on the gutter tripping the 4-pin. So Barber with 3 in a row. To start. He's sitting at 30 through 2. And Fuller back on it. Drops 8 in his first ball, leaves the 5-9. Barber. And the 4 falls into the 2. They're still going. 6 falls back into the 10. Strike on spare. Barber getting the friendly bounces there. 4 in a row to start off. So Fuller with a 9 fill on his strike gets the 10. So Fuller's at 45 through 3, 55 through 4. Yeah, as you were alluding to, this is by far the strongest start by any of their opponents to this point, outside of maybe Baker and McKinley in their first win.
Yeah, the league went back and forth on that one a couple times. That was the match Dave Chestercope covered.
Correct. As Barber with a strike in the 4th again, double strike to end his first half. Fuller with the 6, 7, 8. Beautiful shot. Brian Fuller's 65 plus a ball, but Dave Barber has 80 plus a double strike. What a start for the challengers. So Freshy comes back up. He's sitting at 63 plus a ball. And beautiful first ball there, drops 9. He's got the 10 pin, but nothing in front of it. Ooh, Winchell half was to right. If nothing else, it was not on a fill. So, and Freshy picks the 10 pin for a spare, 3 in a row. Winchell goes outside on the head pin there, leaving the 5-10. So Freshy with 3 in a row, 4 in his last 5 boxes. And Winchell gets up the 9. So he's sitting at 60 through 6. So we're 11 boxes in, and the challengers are up to a 37 pin lead with 1, 2, 3 fill balls to 1 right now. As Freshy fills his spare in the 6th. With 10! Strike on spare. 4 marks in a row. And Winchell can't quite match. He drops 8. He's looking at the 6 and the 9. And Winchell picks it up. Spare in the 7th for Winchell. That's a big one early. As Freshy and Barber are threatening to do what John and Brian did to Baker and Bobby Wickham last time.
It's like 161 to 89 after the first in that one.
Yeah, the spread between Fuller and Wickham, and that was the difference, really. Something came down and almost tripped the 3-pin from behind. Not quite. So 9 on the first ball for Freshy on the strike fill. As Winchell drops 4. So he's at 74 through 7. Freshy looking for his 5th mark in a row. And he just slides by. Normally his ball tails back to the left a little bit, and it didn't that time. So Winchell goes through the middle. He's got 3 left. And Freshy gets a 10 that time, so he sits at 121 through 8. And, very John Winchell-like there with a 7 box. So he sits at 81 through 8. Yeah, as you were alluding to, Freshy partnered up with Nate Lees in the inaugural money match, which was on May 21st of last year. The 2 of them are making their returns, but with different partners, as Freshy drops 5 there. And Winchell's off to the right. He's got the Cleary on the left side. A piece of wood behind the head pin. is kind of settling in no man's land a little bit. Freshy with a cluster of 5 on the left, only gets the 2. Just a little too thin. John looking at the Cleary left again. And runs the horseman down, but leaves the sleeper. That piece of wood was just far enough back that it didn't interfere with that pitch. And Freshy off to the right, leaves 2 for an 8 box. And John with a 10. So Freshy sits at 129 through 9. John with a very disappointing 91 so far.
Yeah, I was going to say that the sleeper that you saw John Winchell tackling, that cuts the chances of making that spare in about half. It's a difference between 36 and 20% on the conversion rate.
Right. As Freshy throws his first ball on the 10th off to the right, leaves the 1, 2, and 4. Very makeable. And Winchell buries it. Drops 9. Just leaves the 10 pin. I know it's only the first string of 5, but he virtually needs to make this. Boyd following ball any further behind as Freshy gets a mark on the 10th. And Winchell with a big miss off to the left. And John with a 10, so he ends at first string at no, actually 99. We had a discrepancy on the scoreboard. That's looks like it started in the second box. As Freshy drops 9 on his spare in the 10th for a first string of 148.
So the official score is
John Winchell with a 99 first string on the official score. We had a discrepancy in the second box, which we will change in the 10th. Just swapping 10s and 8s, so 99 first. So,
okay, so this was an 8.
Yeah, that was an 8. Yeah. Yeah, but then you'd have to go change every box, so whatever you want to do. And Barber drops 8, filling a double on his first ball. So Barber sits at 78 through 4. And forward. And 9 for Barber on the second strike. Fuller goes 9 fill on his spare. And then another spare in the 6th. So Dave Barber with a 97 half. And 107 through 6. And Fuller with a 74 half. And 84 plus a ball here in the 6th. As Barber looking to get back on it. Leaves the 1, 2, and the 10. Fuller gets the splash effect. Drops 7. And Barber just gets by, so Fuller's at 91 through 6. Looking at the 4, 6, and 7. He's going to the right and trying to spin something off the wall, but only gets the 1. And Barber checks out just the head pin for a 9 bucks, so Dave Barber sits at 116 through 7. And Fuller with a 9, he's at 100 through 7. 91. And Barber a little full on a 39-mile-an-hour heater, courtesy of Bob's radar gun. Drops 8. Leaves the 3 and the 4. Fuller gets the 10 pin to fall. He's also looking at the 3 and the 4 with a much more favorable setup with the wood. Barber gets out just the 3. Fuller's going to want to basically put the ball right between the wood and the 3 pin. And the ball jumps off the 3 into the wood. Sometimes I underestimate how much the ball bounces with the frozen wood. All you got to do is play the 3 pin. So Fuller at 110 plus a ball in the 8th. Barber at 125. As Barber off to the right, gets a friendly break. Got the 1, 2, 6, and 10. For a little thin on the 1, 3, he's got the diamond left. That puts him at 116 through 8. Barber a little full, but the wood was set up to get the two corner pins there to carry. And Fuller converts the diamond in the 9th. So Fuller with 2 in a row, 4 in his last 5 boxes. That is his 6th mark of the first string. He's at 126 in a ball. Dave Barber, 135 on a ball. And Barber with a beautiful ball on the 1-2, but the lead, not so much. He drops 5. Fuller off to the left drops 3. Dave looking at the 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. And little Fulls. He was trying to play it off the wall there. And Fuller, a little full. Got 4 left. And Barber with the 8 box for a 148, matching his partner. And Fuller with an 8 for a 137. So, just like that, one string in and we have a record broken. So with Barber and Freshy's matching 148s for a 296, that is now the high team single in money match history, which only lasted one match. Okay. So just like that, the challengers of Freshy and Barber are up to an early 60-pin lead. Long way to go, however, as both bowlers off to the left on their first balls. Freshy drops 4. John, however, drops 8. Got the 1 and the 6, piece of wood behind the head pin. Appears to be frozen. And Freshy outside, he gets the cluster of 6 to carry. And Winchell gets the 1-6 without even needing the wooden back. Matching spares to start. Freshy playing that cluster of 6 perfectly on the outside. And Freshy buries it, drops 9. And he's got a nice angle playing right in front of it. And Winchell with a disappointing 4 fill there, so he's at 14 after 1. Freshy 19 after 1. Oh, Freshy goes down the low end of the wood. I think he got away with that one a little bit. Low end of that wood doesn't always carry. And John gets everything but that pesky sleeper 5 pin. So Freshy starts off with 2 in a row. John waiting for that wood to settle down. Just got the 5 pin left. And just misses off to the left for a 9 box. So John's sitting at 23 through 2. Freshy at 29 on a ball. So interestingly enough, in 4 appearances in the money match thus far, John Winchell's average is 121, which is 1 pin under what he averaged here this past season, interestingly enough. As Freshy with the splash ball gets a split to break up and drops 9 again. So he sits at 38 through 2. Winchell just grazes the head pin and drops 7. He's got the 2-4-7 with a relatively nice plank in front. Anywhere on the right half of that wood should cover. And Freshy off to the left. The low end of the wood wasn't friendly this time. As Winchell carries it. Spare in the 3rd. 2 marks and 3 boxes to start.
Justin. Freshy's ball was just 35 a moment ago.
Oh wow, that's a little harder than he usually throws it. So Freshy there with a 9. He's sitting at 47 through 3. John at 33 in a ball. So conversely, I think it goes to show you the difference between in the houses that Brian Fuller bowls in. He had a league average this winter of 122. He's in the money match series. He's averaging $130. So 8 pins higher.
Led by that 161 in the last game. He had another one in the 140s. Yeah, he's been
something
top player in 2 or 3 of the 4 that he's been in.
Right. As Freshy's got the Caleri left. Winchell drops 8 on his spare, so he's at 41 through 3. And Freshy gets the Caleri to go. He makes it clean. That does not happen very often. As Winchell misses the 2-pin or just picks off the corner pin. As John with 1 to go. Off to the right. Off to the left. So John sits at 50 through 4. Freshy 57 and a ball. So the champs are looking for 5 in a row, and things aren't not off to a good start. And Freshy full again. Leaves the 3 and the 4. Got a piece of wood in back there. Doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. And Winchell a little thin in the 1-2 pocket. Crosses over. He's got the baby split, the 310. And Freshy just chops back the 3-pin. As John picks up the baby split. Much better half of John Winchell. He's sitting at 60 and a ball. But he's not able to pick up any ground. As Freshy has himself a 74 half. So that just added another 14 pins to the lead for the challengers. So the overall lead in the match right now is currently 74 pins. So Barber and Fuller get back up. Dave Barber, newcomer to the Money Match Series. He comes to us from Peabody. Although he spent most of his life in Lynn. See, he drops 9 on his first ball there. Fuller drops 8. He's got the 2-5. Barber looking at the 2-pin by itself, and he's got it. Spare to start for Dave Barber. And Fuller matches with a spare of his own. A little full, but he had a piece of wood in the back there that kept things in play. So Barber with a 121 average this year out of Woburn Bowlodrome. He's the captain of not only his Friday Pro League team, but also the Lucky Strike Worlds team. And the ball's fading away. Still gets a good 9 drop, leaving the 7-pin. And Fuller drops 8 yet again, both on fills. Barber's got the 7-pin with a not exactly optimal piece. And he gets the benefit of the wood in the gutter there. 2 in a row for Dave Barber. Fuller trying to get by that front piece, and he does. 2 in a row for Fuller. Now Dave Barber with a high single of 208, high triple of 475, and a high 5 of 771. And he's off to the left. And the 3-pin falls late, so he drops 6. And Fuller also drops 6, mirror images. Barber with the 1-3-8-10. Fuller with the 1-2-7-9. Barber needed to be a little full, and he gets everything but the 10-pin. Fuller's got nothing around. Chops out just the head pin. And the ball clips the wood in the gutter first. That is a 9-box. Fuller also with a 9. So Barber's at 44 through 3. Fuller 43 through 3. So Barber and Fuller, we got a pair of world champions up here on the lanes. Barber as captain of the 2016 Lucky Strike team that won the title up at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester. And Fuller with a strike in the fourth. Barber chops out just the head pin on the Caleri. Fuller was a champion of the 2018 Academy Lanes team that won the title at home. Barber with a disappointing $6. So he's sitting at 50 through 4. Fuller 53 plus 2. Barber looking to get back on it. And he does with an 8 drop, but not a good leave. And Fuller also drops 8, but a more favorable leave of the 3 and the 5. Barber's got the 9-10 to shoot at. Picks out just the 10. So and Fuller chops out just the 3. So a 9 fill on his strike. He's at 62 through 4. Barber with the 10. He's got a 60 half. And yep, Fuller gets his 10, so he's at a 72. So Fuller chops 12 pins off the lead. The lead down to 62. Now John and Freshy get back up. Freshy with a 119 league average out of Metro Bowl and Peabody. Also the captain of his Friday Pro League team. He moved over to the Lucky Strike World Championship team with last year's U.S. Invitationals, so assuming we have an actual World Championships this year, it will be his first year with Dave and his crew. As Winchell drops 6 on his fill, he's got 66 at the half, off a 36-mile-an-hour pitch. And Freshy off to the left only takes 3. A few miles an hour left. Miles an hour less. Coming in at 33 miles an hour.
Just missed, Johnny.
John off to the right. So John's got 2 left. And Freshy just basically clips the head pin on the way by. He's got 2 left. He's got the 210. John's got the 3-4 and he hits the curtain. So $8 for John. He's at 74 through 6. And Freshy with a $9, so he's at 83 through 6. The lead is at 57. So this matchup tonight is affectionately Maria's versus Lucky, as both John Winchell and Brian Fuller are members of the Maria's Sub World Championship team. And John crosses over, leaves the 4-6 with a couple pieces of wood around. This coming November will be Brian's first year on said team. And Freshy off to the left, he leaves the 1, 3, 6, and the 9. John went up to the foul line to take a closer look. I think he wants to be over more on the 4-pin side. I think that wood is too deep to go on the other side. And it goes right in between. It's the stripe, it only gets the 4-pin. And the ball's got a mind of its own. It's coming all the way back. And Freshy goes outside. That 6-pin is wobbling. It does not want to go. It's not going to go. As the ball comes all the way back. And John with a 9. So he's at 83 through 7. And Freshy also with a 9. He's at 92 through 7. So John Winchell bowling well of late. As this past Wednesday night, he locked up the top seed of the North Conference for the ACST playoffs. That will be beginning in short order. A little more competitive this year as it came down to the last match before he was able to lock up that top seed. He drops 8, leaves the 7 and the 9. Freshy drops 7. He's got the 5, 6, and 10. Only helpful piece of wood that he could have had rolled right into the left gutter. John goes grab the 7 pin in the corner. Yes. And Freshy goes at the 2-pinner with the plank on the right. He gets that. Leaves just the 5-pin. And John gets just a 9 there, so 92 through 8. And, ooh, Freshy just clips the 5-pin, but it goes for the 10, so Freshy 102 through 8. As we like to say in the business, don't hurt him. So John's at 93. Is it 9? John? He had a 9. Okay, so we were right. Okay. All right. As John gets in the pocket, but leaves the triangle on the right and the 7-pin. Freshy misses right. Gets the 4-pin to carry. He's got the 1-2-7 with a perfectly placed piece of wood right behind the 2-pin. John looking at the 3, 5, 6, and 7. Yep. Just gets by the object pin, only takes out the 6. Whoop. And we have a balk. As Freshy regroups. I got Winchell and Sean Baker a little back and forth heckling in the background there. As Freshy regroups. Now Freshy can carry the 2-pinner. He's got it, and he does. So Freshy 112 plus the ball in the 9th. John slides by to the left. He's at an 8 box, so he's at 100 through 9. Freshy 112 plus a ball. As Winchell back on the head pin.
All right, go get it.
And he gets the 2 and the 4 to fall late. Leaves the 7 with a plank right in front. And it rolls up pretty snug against the 7. Freshy with 4 on his spare. He's at 116 through 9. As Winchell barely catches the wood for a spare in the 10th. Freshy's got the 1, 3, 6, and 9 on the right, 4, 7 on the left. Goes outside, leaves the 6, 9. And Freshy cleans up for the 10 box, so he ends his second string at 126. So he's off to a good start. He's at 274 through 2. John Winchell at 110 plus whatever he gets on this fill ball.
There you go.
Which is 10. Gets the strike fill on the 10th. So he ends the second string at 120.
Splits were brutal.
Much improved over his first string of 99. So John sits at 219 through 2. The lead at 54. Now Brian and Dave get back up with no marks hanging. As Fuller drops 7, he's got the 2, 4, 5. And Barber a little full. He's got the 3, 4, 6, and 7. Got a helpful piece of wood in between the 3 and the 6 as Fuller picks up the triangle. Barber could afford to go a little full on that 2-pinner, but not that much. Barber gets the 10. So a clean 10 box there for Dave Barber, 70 through 6. Fuller at 82 plus a fill ball here. As hoping to get the lead in the match under 50, which he will with that 9 drop. Barber with a splash ball strike. Beautiful bounce back for Dave Barber. As Fuller gets the 5-pin for a spare in the 7th. 2 in a row for Fuller and 3 out of 4. Barber is the son of the legend, the Hall of Famer Jim Barber. His family owned Lucky Strike Lanes in Lynn for many years. As Fuller goes through the middle, drops 5, and Barber crosses over. Drops 7 on his first ball. Fuller with the 2, 3, 6, 8, and 10. Chops out just the 3. Barber looking at the 2, 5, and the 10. Oh, and he sends it over, but the 10-pin stays. So Dave sits at 89 through 7. Fuller with a 7, so he's at 113 through 8. Dave with a 9, so he's at 90. Yep, 98 through 8. And Fuller off to the left, just 3. But all in the bunch. And Barber a little thin on the 1-2. He drops 6. He's got 3, 7, 9, 10. Fuller just gets by. And 9-pin wants to fall, but doesn't look like it's going to. Only thing that's falling is that piece of wood into the pit. Barber's got a couple pieces of wood. And uses the front piece perfectly. The 9-pin is the last to go. So Fuller with an 8 box. He sits at 121 through 9, excuse me. Dave at 108 plus a ball. The lead, which isn't reflected here, is currently at 53. Fuller off to the left. He's got Cleary right. And Barber with a big 9 drop. He's at 117 through 9. So Fuller with a piece of wood in front of the 8. And gets just the head pin. And Barber just catches it on the cheek. 2 in a row to end the string. And Fuller barely clips the 3-pin, but it's enough to get 3 more pins. So Brian Fuller Jr. ends the second string with a 130. He's at 267. But Dave
average, right? 130.
Yeah, he's above it. He's above at the moment. As Barber drops 6 with a 133 second string. He is outdoing that by 10 pins. He's at 281 through 2, so 140 average through 2 strings. Barber means business tonight. 3 marks in his last 4 boxes to finish. So the challengers add another 9 pins up and another 9 pins onto the lead. They're up 69 through. They're up by 69 after 2 strings. If you're just joining us, Justin Scali alongside the curator of Spread Eagle Productions, Bob Lee, handling the graphics as usual. As Freshy starts the 3rd string with a strike. Freshy is hoping to not be a one and done this go around. As in the inaugural money match, he and Nate Lees lost at the hands of the inaugural champions of Sean Baker and Sean McKinley. So Winchell has 8 pins down after 2 boxes. And he's off to the left again. So 8 boxes start for John. So Freshy at 274 through 2. Dave Barber at 281. John Winchell 219 and Brian Fuller Jr. 267. He's over his money match average of 130, but it's not enough to this point. As John got off to a rough start. Well, so John dropped 7. He's got the 1, 2, 4. As Freshy looking to double up. He's got the 9 pin. Hoping for that wood to settle okay. So. And Winchell just gets by. Yeah, not by much. So Freshy's got the 9 pin with a couple pieces of wood. And not the one he was looking to hit, but the left piece was in the right place that the captain was able to carry it. Spare on strike. And Fuller with a 9 box. He's at 17 through 2. Freshy getting the friendly bounce. Yep. As you know, Bob, this is just one of those nights where if things are going your way, you just get those extra pins to carry, even if you don't put the ball where you intended to.
Yeah. Pins out of both sides, but just a little bit more out of the we'll call them the lucky strike team, Barber and Zuffelato.
Freshy drops 9 again.
With the big difference being the 148s, the fill balls, they picked up an additional 2 or 3 spares, especially in this matchup right here.
Right. As John had dropped 8 on his first ball, leaving the 410 and clipped the wood in the back and nothing out of it. So Freshy's at 39 through 2, goes up top on the wood, a little too much down there, I guess. He had a double piece of wood on the deck and a pin on the gutter, and everything just stayed away from the 7 pin. John with a 9 box. Excuse me. So John's at 26 through 3. This is not the same John Winchell that we saw Wednesday night. And Freshy with a 9, so he's at 48 through 3.
We're approaching the midway point in this one, Justin.
Yeah, we're getting close to, with all due respect to the fine folks from up north, we're getting approached to Dom Drake and Mark Smith territory here. The challengers are threatening to run away and hide. This thing's looking like it's going to be up over 100 in short order. And John gets over in the 1-2 pocket and doesn't get much to show for it. You got the triangle there on the right with a 4-7 in the corner. Freshy with a beautiful ball in the 1-2 pocket. And 9 on a wobbling 7 pin. So Freshy will look to get his 3rd mark of the match. As John just gets by. As Freshy picks the 7 pin for another spare. 3 marks and 4 boxes to start the 3rd string. As Winchell gets the 10, as the wood was indeed set up perfectly in front of the 2-pinner. I just think that's the biggest difference as far as there seemed to be a lot of head pin hits between the 2 teams, but Freshy and Barber seem to be in the pocket a lot more consistently.
Well, there were 2 spread eagles in that first set. John Winchell's 99 was hampered by those. I remember he hit 3 out of 5 head pins in the first set. Can't remember what the back was, but it was in that area, 6 or 7. It's just there were 2 spread eagles. That cost him a good right. 10 or 15 of those pins.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's throwing. Nick was throwing a 148.
And John's off target on his first 2 balls. He's got 3 left here, the 1, 4, and the 8. Freshy's got the 1, 2, 4, and 10. And he gets nothing there. And John gets out just the 8 pin there. I mean, just the head pin for an 8 box. So a disappointing 44 half. And Freshy gets the front 3, so he's got a 9 box. He's at 73. So the lead's at 98 for the challengers. Nate Lees, if he's going to watch this once this match airs, he's going to be thinking, where was this Wednesday night? As Fuller and Barber get back up here. As Fuller drops 7, 5, 7, 8. Barber off to the left. He's got the 5, 7. Fuller's got some wood out in front. And he hits the very right tip of it. Gets the spare in the first. Nice shot by Brian Fuller Jr. And Freshy catches the right side of the 5, but not thin enough to get it to carry over. So Barber gets just the 9. He's checking in the approach there. So 9 box to start off for Dave Barber. As Fuller looking to fill his spare. Only drops 6. He leaves the diamond on the left. Barber off to the right. He's got the 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. Fuller a little thin on that diamond. He's got the 5 and the 8 left. Barber goes outside on the head pin there on that cluster of 5. Leaves just the 9 pin. Fuller chops out just the 5 for a 9 box. And Dave with a 10. So Dave's at 19 through 2. Brian at 25. As Fuller back in the pocket, leaves a picket fence of the 5, 6, 9, and 10. Dave off in the 3, 6 pocket and gets a friendly break though, leaves the 1 and the 7. Fuller tries to go outside there on the 6 pin and gets just the 10. So we got a couple of pieces of wood in there. And a little too full on the head pin. They both basically go straight back. Fuller gets 2 there for a 9 box. And Dave gets his 10. So Dave at 29 through 3. Fuller at 34. So. And Fuller chops 2, half Worcester left. As Barber looking for his first mark of the 4th string. Drops 9. He's got the 10 pin. And Fuller a little full on that one. Takes out 4 though. Barber catches the wood and gets a spare in the 4th. Fuller gets the 2 in the right corner for an 8 box. He's at 42 through 4. Dave Barber 39 on the ball in the 4th. And Fuller off to the left, drops 8. He's got the 1 and the 3. Barber goes to the middle, drops 7 though. A rather unconventional one. He's got the 2, 6, and the 9. And Fuller chops out just the head pin. Hits that about as full as you can get. And Barber knocks the ball off the wall. The ball off the wood. 9 pin wobbles and doesn't go. Fuller gets the 10, so he's got a 52 half. Barber with a 10 there. He's at 56. So we've hit the halfway point of the match, and the challengers have gotten the lead into triple digits. We have not seen this since Money Match 4. The lead is 684 to 582 for Freshy and Barber. The final spread in the match with Drake and Smith was 169 pins. Hopefully it doesn't get to that extent. But if this keeps up, we're treading in that direction as Freshy gets the splash ball strike in the 6th. Winchell buries it in the 1-3, leaves the 5 pin. And Winchell's got the 5 pin to shoot at. Deflects the ball off the wood for the spare. But the way the wood was angled, I don't know whether he was trying to get by the wood or not, but he put the ball in the right spot. So Freshy's at 83 plus 2. John 54 on a ball. And Freshy a little thinner that time with an ugly 5 drop. But he has another fill ball. As John drops 8, got a piece of wood coming over. He's got the 5 and 10 with a nice piece of wood on the 5. Freshy's got the 3, 4, 5, 7, 10. And just gets by for a 6. As Winchell with a spare in the 6th. He's spare in the 7th, excuse me. So 8 fill on his spare, and then yet another. So he's at 62 through 6, 72 on the ball. Freshy with an 8 box in the 7th. He's at 97 through 7. So
they're projected at the half.
Based on the pace the Bulls run at the half, yes, that would be the record by a significant margin. The current team record is 1294, which Winchell and Fuller threw against Dom Drake and Mark Smith back at the end of January. The final score of that match was 1294 to 1125. So both bowlers dropped 5. Freshy's got the eagle minus the 2 pin. Gets 2 on the right. Winchell has the 4 horseman left and the 9 pin. Goes outside. Gets just the horseman. And the sleeper stays. As Freshy with just a 7 there. So Freshy at 104 through 8. And Winchell is at 87 through 8. Oh, excuse me, 106 through 8 for Freshy. 106. Leads down to 92. Freshy and Winchell with 2 boxes to go. As Freshy can't get the split to break up. He's got the 6 and the 7. Winchell with a strike in the 9th.
Let's see another one, huh, bud?
Winchell finally getting the extra pins to carry. Oh, Freshy's got the 6 and the 7. As didn't quite hit the piece of wood on the right spot. And he gets nothing there. Not sure which end he was looking for. He was basically right in between. And he gets nothing on that one either for an 8 box. So he's at 114 through 9. John Winchell at 97 plus 2. I know what Freshy's got in the 8th and 9th. Okay. Is that?
So it looks like it's 112. I think they did. Yeah, so
All right. We're. That looks like 112. At 112. So, I'm gonna just had a little discrepancy with the official scoreboard, which has been fixed. So Freshy's at 112 through 9. Freshy drops 5 on his first ball. He's got the Greek church leaf. He's got 6, 9, 10 on the right, 4, 7 on the left with a couple pieces of wood. I'm guessing they're going to go over there on that wood. Just a question of where it's going to play. John dropped 8. He's got the 4, 7 with a couple pieces in front, which shouldn't be a problem as long as he's on the right side of that front piece.
Our official scorer, Mike McGinty, has confirmed 112 is Freshy's score. It was a 7, not a 9. They corrected in the 8th box.
So, conference over. He's going down by the 7. Snaps it over beautifully. What a shot. Sent the right piece of wood over in the triangle as Winchell goes spare on strike in the 10th. Winchell with a big finish there. So the lead is down to 78. That's a couple of big marks. What am I saying? That's a heck of a back half there for John Winchell. Yep. And Freshy with a 5 fill, so he's at 127 to end the string. And Winchell gets the 5 and 10 to fall late. He goes 40 out the last 2 boxes, strike, spare, strike. A spectacular 83 back half in the 3rd string to end at a 127.
Impressively, a 401 for Freshy, but with that great finish, Winchell got himself up to a 346 after that 99 start on his first 3.
Right, and a big finish there from Winchell if they're going to have any hope of coming back on this one. So Barber takes out half Worcester left. Fuller's got the 1, 2, and the 4. As Barber leaves 3 on the second ball. And Fuller cleans it up for the spare. As Barber gets 9 for a 9 box, so he's at 65 through 6. So Fuller's at 62 plus a ball. The overall lead is 72.
Like that, 30 pins off the lead in the last 6 boxes.
Yep, the champs are making a push. As the 8-pin falls late for a strike. Fuller looking to match. Not so much. He drops 9 though. So Fuller is 71 through 6. Got the 4-pin with a piece of wood in front, and he's got it 2 in a row for Fuller. Yep. With Fuller's fill in the 6th, the champs have got it down to 63. Barber drops 8 on his first ball there. He's got the 6 and the 9. And Fuller goes strike on spare. 3 marks in a row for Brian Fuller. As Barber with a big spare in the 8th. So Barber goes spare on strike. He's at 85 through 7, 95 plus a ball in the 8th. And Brian Fuller 101 plus 2. As Barber drops 6. Leaves the diamond. And Fuller off to the left. He also drops 6. He's got the 1, 3, 7, and 8. Barber takes out just the back 2 there on the diamond. On the rightmost 2. And Fuller just gets by the head pin. 7 fill on the strike. So he's at 108 through 8. Barber at 101. Barber gets a 9 in the 9th for a 110 through 9. Fuller with a disappointing 7 box after the 7 fill. He's at 115 through 9. So 1 box to go in the 3rd. The lead is 64. So the champs have cut 38 pins off of the maximum, the where the lead was at its biggest point. So Barber drops 9, leaves the 5 pin. And Fuller drops 7, hoping the 7 pin drops. No, it doesn't want to go. Barber just squeaks by the 5 pin. Fuller's got the 5-7-10 with a double piece of wood up on the lip.
Catch the wood.
And he does not catch the wood, gets just the 5 pin. And Barber with a 9. And Fuller also with a 9. So Barber with a 119 third string. Fuller at 124. So the champs win that string, but by only 5 pins. So
Barber and Zuffelato both 400 games.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. We have not seen that yet.
And Fuller with a 391.
Yeah, he's right behind him. He's right on his money match average of 130. So we're through 3. The challengers sitting at a 64 pin lead at 801 to 737.
Let's go.
But a big back half by the champs in that third string, cutting 38 pins off the overall lead with 40 boxes to go, 20 for each bowler. So Freshy starts the 4th string with the 4 horseman right. Winchell with the 5, 7, 9, 10 with a flat piece of wood in front of the triangle. And Freshy goes outside on the horseman, leaves just the 10 with a plank right in front. I think John's going to want to go right side, and he goes a little too far right. And, John said that one hurt. I'm guessing he meant literally, as well as figuratively. As Freshy gets the 10. And John goes over on the 8 pin side of the wood and gets it to carry. Yep, pair of 10s to start.
$801 to $737 through 4. How about that?
Not too shabby. As Freshy goes thin in the 1-3. Right now, looking at the 7-10, and looks like it's going to stay that way. And Winchell with the splash ball. Gets the 6 pin to drop late. Leaves just the 7. Hoping that wood flattens out. It looks like it's going to. And it does. Freshy's got the 7-10. He's got a double piece of wood there on the right, hoping to get something to bounce over. And the ball goes right behind the 7. And Winchell gets his spare. So John Winchell, 20 in a ball. Freshy, 20 through 2. So individually through 3. Freshy and Barber were matching 400s, so Freshy one-upped him with a 401. John Winchell with a disappointing 346 with that 99 opener. Brian Fuller trying to keep pace with the challengers. He has a 391 through 3. As Freshy off to the left, he leaves a clearing on the right side. Winchell looking to fill his spare. And he gets a split to break up. Leaves just the 3 and the 6. That is an 8 drop. That cuts another 8 pins off. And Freshy makes the Caleri for the 2nd time tonight.
They only go 20% of the time.
2 for 2 is impressive. Right.
5 pros and modern pros combined.
As Winchell gets another spare 2 in a row there as he covers his 2-pinner. Yeah, I believe that's Freshy. Yeah, I believe Freshy's 2 for 2 on the Caleri tonight. And he fills it with 8 as the 5-pin falls late. He's got the 6-10 with a piece in front. And Winchell with a thin hit. Only takes out 5. He's got the 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. A piece of wood off to the right there behind the 3. That should help carry the 9 and the 10. Freshy just pretty much needs to go right at the 6-10. And that's not going to do it there. And John plays it beautifully. It's something to bounce off the piece of wood, I think, based on how high that piece came over and took out the 7. John Winchell now with 3 in a row, as Freshy puts it where he needed to the first time and gets a 10 in the 8th. So John Winchell, 53 in the ball, cut another 5 pins off. As Freshy goes through the middle. He's got the 2, 3, 4, and 7 with a piece of wood sliding over. As Winchell drops 8, he's got a spinning piece in the 10. The piece spun around just long enough to trip the 10. 9 dropped there, 62 through 4. Freshy's got a piece of wood. They're right behind the 2 and the 4, which what could have helped if he played something off the wall, but well, for the most part went straight back. As Winchell picks the 9 pin, 4 marks in a row here in the 4th. 72 on the ball with a perfect half for John Winchell. And Freshy leaves a couple of ducks on the deck. 8 blocks there for 56. So just overheard Winchell saying he thinks he figured it out, and the scores show it. John Winchell sitting at 72 plus a ball at the half. Freshy at 56. As Bob just alluded to, if you could hear him, the lead is down to 48. As Barber with the splash ball drops 9. He's got a plank in front of the 10. Full with a little bit of a thinner hit. He's got the 6 and the 10. You can basically just play this like a single. As Barber with a room service spare there. Fuller with the match. Oh. Oh. No, Barber off to the left, only 3. Fuller's got himself a little bit of an opening here. And he gains 1 pin. He drops 4. Barber's got that cluster of 6 and on the right of the 7 pin. Gets all but 2. Fuller with a much more favorable lead. Gets everything but the 7. And Barber cleans it up for the 10, so he's at 23 through 2. Fuller matches with a 10 of his own. He's at 24 through 2. And Barber off to the right, drops 7. He's got the 1, 2, and 4. And Fuller off to the left. He's got the 1, 3, 6, 7, and 8. Barber runs it down on the outside. Spare in the 3rd for Barber. And Fuller with a big match. Goes outside on the head pin. Ball jumps into the left corner, and the 7 pin ends up toppling into the 8. Beautiful shot. As Barber with strike on spare. Fuller, a little fuller than he wanted to be. He drops 6, so he's at 40 through 3. And only gets 2 on the second ball. And Fuller with a 9 bucks, so he's at 49 through 4. Yeah. Barber 53 plus 2. And a little bit of a momentum shift here. As Barber goes a little light there. Leaves the Starlight 5 there on the right side. But he has the ball to go. And Fuller, it looked like he was going to have a strike, but the 5-pin stayed up. As Barber off to the right. He's got an 8 fill. He's at 61 through 4. And Fuller picks a single on the 5th. That's a big one. So Fuller with 59 plus a ball at the half. Barber with his 10. He sits at 71. The lead is at 60. However, the champs both have fill balls waiting when they get back up. And John Winchell will fill his right now.
$15 a piece to go. You know, yep. You gotta think.
With the caliber bowler we have up here, there is plenty of time left. As Winchell starts the second half with a 6 drop. He's got the 3, 5, 6, and 7. As Freshy off to the left, he's got the Cleary right. That's been his shot tonight, 2 for 2. As Winchell looking for 5 in a row, not gonna get it. As the 7-pin stays up.
Talking about the Cleary before. Nick's made 2 of these tonight.
That's right. And not this time. Not going to count. Wouldn't count as a conversion, but he could still make it for a 10. And not the best piece of wood out there in front. So John gets the 9. He's at 87 through 6. Nope. Up. And Freshy yanks that one off to the left with a disappointing $6. So he's only at 62 through 6. John Winchell 87. And Winchell off to the left. Only takes 3. And Freshy also off to the right. He drops 4. Was able to get the 10-pin to carry where John has that up. But other than that, basically the same leave. And beautiful shot by John Winchell. This clips the head pin on the outside, and the ball goes over into the left corner. Beautiful shot. And Freshy is full on the 1-3 there. Just carries the right side. And Freshy picks his $10. So John Winchell with a big spare there in the 7th. He sits at 97 in the ball. The overall lead is at 51. 5 marks in his last 6 boxes. At only 1 blemish with the 9 box in the 6th. His only pin left standing. As Winchell gets a splash ball, 8 drop. 105 through 7. So that chops another 8 pins off. The lead's down to 43. As Freshy a little full on the 1-3. Only drops 5. He's got the check mark left and the 9 pin. So John with the more favorable of the 2 spare leaves. And he's got it. Splits them perfectly. 2 in a row for John Winchell. He's at 115 in the ball. And Freshy sends it over. What a shot. Sends the 2-pin over into the 10-pin. Beautiful shot, and that's a big one. If he didn't make that, John could have put it under 30 with a big, under 40 with a big fill. Seems like every time the champs make a push, the challengers bounce right back as Winchell goes strike on spare. 3 marks in a row.
Do it again.
As Freshy off to the left. Drops 6. He's got the 1, 3, 7, and 8. He's at 88 through 8. And Winchell's sitting 135 plus 2. Freshy off to the left again. I think he's starting to feel it a little bit. Seems like that's been his consistent miss of late. As Freshy right back on there for the 9 box. He's at 97 through 9. John Winchell 135 plus 2. The lead is down to 38. John could put a world of hurting on that with another strike here. The champs have dominated the second half of this match. And oh, you got to be kidding me. The 1, 3, and the 10. Not a leave you see in this place very often. Buddy has another fill ball. Freshy way left, but he gets a kind bounce. Got the 1, 2, 6, 9, 10 with a favorable piece of wood there in front of the 6, 9. For as bad of a first ball as couldn't ask for a better break. And little full there. Big 9 fill though, 144 through 9.
All right, get the stick.
So John Winchell with 3 ends his mark streak at 3 there. Has 7 marks in his last 8 boxes. He's only left 1 pin standing to this point. And Freshy a little light there. Couldn't quite get the friendly bounce from behind on the 2 there. So Winchell gets the 10, a 154. 4th string for John Winchell. Only left 1 pin standing the entire string. And Freshy with a 9, a 106. The lead in the match is down to 28. Fuller with a fill ball.
John's now got the high single for the night.
Yes, he does. 154, and just like that, he's sitting at 500 through 4, while Freshy's at 507. Folks, we have ourselves a match here. As Fuller drops 8. That gets the lead down to 20. He's got the 8 and the 9. Barber off to the left. So Fuller with a 67 half. He's got the 8 and the 9. Got a piece of wood right by the 8. I think he's going to use it. And not there. Yep, the lead is 20. Barber just gets 2 on that second ball. Fuller gets his 10. He's at 77 through 6. And Barber chops out just the 4 there. So Dave Barber sits at 78 through 6. Fuller at 77. It's a 2-mark game now. The lead is down to 17. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a ball game. And Fuller off to the left, but he gets a good mix. He's got the 1, 3, 7, and 10. Barber goes through the middle. He's got the eagle minus the 3. And Fuller sends it over, and he's got it. Splits the 1, 3, sends the head pin over to the 7. What a shot. Barber takes out just the 4 in the meantime. Gets the short 2 in the corner for an 8 box. He's at 86 through 7. Fuller 87 on the ball with a good enough fill. This is going to get this thing down into single digits. What a remarkable comeback. And Fuller goes, he drops 9. My view was blocked out a little bit. So Fuller sits at 96 through 7. Barber comes back. Leaves the cluster of 5 on the right. That 9 fill gets the overall lead in the match down to 6 pins. And that's a big miss by Fuller. Leaves just this. Yep, can't convert. Barber a little light there. Leaves just the 2 in the back corner. And Fuller gets it for the 10. And Barber hits the cap on that wood, only gets the 10. So he sits at 90. He sits at 95 through 8. Fuller 106. The lead is 5 pins. And Fuller with a beautiful ball gets the 10 pin to fall late. He's got the 4-8. And Barber with the spread eagle. My, how things have changed. And Fuller converts the 4-8 for a spare in the 9th. And Barber right through the hole. 116 and a ball for Fuller. Barber's got to be careful here. And he chokes out just the 2-pin for a 5 box. We have a tie ball game. This filled ball will be the lead. And Fuller off to the left, gets a friendly mix, gets the 1, 3, 9, and 10. So a 6-pin lead for the champs. This is their first lead of the match. As Barber drops 7. Fuller picks his up. He had the 1, 3, 9, and 10. Barber gets the kick off the sidewalk, converts his triangle in the 10th. So Barber 110 on the ball, Fuller 132 on the ball. The lead is 6. And Fuller strike on spare in the 10th. 3 in a row to finish. Barber full on his fill ball. He's got a 6 drop for 116. What?
The champs just tied the record that was set in the first string.
Yes, that is correct. Fuller and Winchell with a combined 296 in that 4th string to Barber and Freshy's 222. They just won that one by 70 pins. So they may have lost the team record in the first string, but they just came back and tied it. The overall lead is 10-33 to 10-23 as we make the turn from home. Winchell a little full. He's got the big 4 there, the 4, 6, 7, and 10. Justin Scali and Bob Lee. This thing is shaping up to be an instant classic. And Freshy gets the right side to cave in. And Winchell goes left, somehow leaves the 7-pin. Freshy looking at the 2-4, and he's got it. Big spare to start the 5th for Freshy. As Winchell with a 9 to start. So individually through 4, all 4 bowlers are over 500. Freshy at 507, Barber 516, John Winchell at 500 even, and Brian Fuller at 533. Unbelievable ball in here tonight. As Winchell gets the splash ball again. At 10-pin gets hit, but it's not going to stay. Or should I say it's going to stay up. As Freshy drops 8. He's got the 7-8. A few pieces around. And the lead is now 1. Winchell looking at the 4 and the 10. He'll probably try to catch that piece of wood. And a little too much of it. I think Freshy's got a couple ways to play this. Thing right side of that stripe on the right is good, or right at the 7. He's going right, and he's got it. 2 in a row for Freshy. Freshy coming off a disappointing 106 second string, off to a good start here. As Winchell cleans up for the 10.
All right, right here.
So Freshy 28 through 2. John Winchell at 19. The champs clinging to a 1-pin lead here. Which, after Freshy's fill ball, it's going to swing back the other way. And Winchell on the 1-2. Doesn't get the break there. He's got diamond right. 3, 5, 6, and 9 there on the right with the 7-pin over in the left corner. And Freshy drops 8, leaving the 7-10. So he's at 36-2. That puts the challengers back in the lead by 7 pins. And Winchell's got it. Sends the diamond over into the corner to get the 7. What a shot. The 7 was the last to go. That basically went all at once. Freshy gets nothing there, just gets that piece of wood out of the way. Winchell has made a bunch of beautiful shots here in the second half of this one. And Freshy gets just the 7 there for a 9 box. He's at 45 through 3. John Winchell 29 in the ball. The lead is 6. Yep, for the challengers. And Winchell off to the right. 4 pins falls late. That's a 7 drop. So that puts it. So 7 drop. That's 36 through 3. That's going to put the champs back in the lead by 1. He's got the 1, 2, and the 10. And Freshy off to the right. He's got 4 horsemen left. John Winchell with a frozen piece of wood on the 2 pin. That's going to give him a little more margin of error. Looks good. And not going to carry the 10. And Freshy leaves just the 7 pin. As Winchell gets his 10, he's at 46 through 4. As Freshy gets his 10, he's at 55 through 4.
Right here, Johnny.
All right, so leadoff bowlers will look to finish off their first halves. And Winchell drops 9. He's got the 4 pin with nothing in its way. And Freshy gets the 5, 9, and 10 to fall late. It looked like that's what he was going to be shooting at, but they fall for the strike. Big strike for Nick Zuffelato in the 5th. That'll end his first half.
There you go, Johnny.
And Winchell picks the single. So he's got a 56 half. Nick Zuffelato 65 plus 2. The ball is stupid to me to forget, but I saw it. But we got a 1 pin lead for the champs. I was about to say something else, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Fuller takes out the front diamond. That's rather unusual. Take out the 1, 2, 3, and 5. I guess the left side. Barber looking at the 2, 4, 5. Misses left. And Fuller with a beautiful 10 box. Doesn't even need that piece of wood. And Barber with an 8. So Lead is at 3. So I understand you'll be coming. You'll be coming back up here again next week.
That's right. We got Paul Grant is going to be doing women's money match number 2 Saturday night.
That is correct. As Fuller picks up a strike in the second. And Barber looking to match. He drops 9. Got a poorly placed piece of wood in front of the 9. He's pretty much going to need to go up around the cap. And not so much. That wood could not have ended up in a worse spot. And Barber gets it for the 10.
Lead is 3, but 2 bonus balls coming up for Brian. Well, like we were saying, money match number 2, we're going to be seeing Maddie Kelly and Mario Johnson up against Lori Lewis and
Glennis McKinley.
And Glennis McKinley. It's going to be they're going to be on the make. Oh my!
Barber with a big strike in the third of his own.
Match is awfully close, and we should be talking about the next match coming up with the men too.
That is correct. As Fuller looking to fill up his strike, but only with 6. And Fuller with a good 10. Fuller had a 6 fill on a strike, so he's at 26 through 2, 36 through 3. No, 20, and 36 through 3. As Fuller with 9 and 10. The 4-pin falls late. Looked like Fuller was going to be shooting at a 2-pinner, but he gets the strike. Barber's got the check mark left. And he misses left. 8 fill on the strike, 36 through 3. He gets the 9 and he gets the 9 in the fourth, 45 through 4. So these two bowlers have alternated strikes the last 3 boxes. The lead is 2 plus this fill. Yes, so the winner of this match will face. So we have another returning bowler and his partner is also a newcomer. So as Fuller drops 6, he's got the 4 horsemen left with a nice piece of wood between the 4 and the 7. And he's got it! Spare on strike for Fuller. Barber with a little full there on that 2-pinner. He was shooting at the 2, 4, and the 6. Barber with a 9 box, so he's at 54 at the half. With 10 boxes to go, the champs have a 13-pin lead. Fill balls are even. Yes, so
Nick Zuffelato working on a strike here, but it's his former partner
Yes.
From Money Match 1, Nate Lees and Josh Daly. They'll be waiting in the wings for the champion tonight, right?
yes, that is correct. Nate and Josh have the winners. Yep. Nate and Freshy ended up deciding to end their partnership, and they found different partners. So they are next in line. As Freshy looking to double up. Leaves the 2-pin. He's got a nice piece of wood right on it. And Winchell off to the left. He's got a 6 on his spare fill. He's at 62 through 5. Freshy's got a little bit of a guide there on the 2-pin, and he's got it. So Freshy with a 75 half, 85 plus a ball. And Winchell with a little full takes out just the 1-6. He's got the 3 and the 7 left. And he gets 1 for a 9. So John sits at 71 through 6. And Freshy 85 in the ball. The lead is 8. And fill balls are even 1 apiece. Bob, at the rate this is going, this is probably going to come down to the last box.
This is the closest ever of all the money matches we've had. We haven't had anything like this in the 5th box.
And halfway through the match, it certainly didn't look like it was going to be there.
$2,500 on the line. Winners will take all. No second place here.
As Freshy, only a 3-drop there.
Come on, Johnny.
He's got the 4 horsemen left and the triangle in the right corner, the 6, 9, and 10. Got a piece in back there that may help. John looking at half horse to right. As Freshy runs the horseman down, that piece of wood in the back just went right into the pit, leaving only the triangle on the right side there. As
All right, grab a couple.
Winchell leaves 3 up. He's got the 5, 6, and 10 left. He'll just go into the corner and grab the short 2. And Freshy gets his 10, so he's at 90. He's at 98 through 7. And Winchell only gets 1 there, so that's an 8 box, 79 through 7. So the lead is 3. As Freshy drops 7, leaves the 3, 5, and the 6. Winchell's got the Caleri left. As Freshy was looking at the triangle on the right and doesn't convert. Yep. And Winchell just gets the front 3 of the horsemen.
We think it's going to be a 1-string roll-off. We're going to get confirmation on that if there is a tie.
That is correct. And as Freshy gets his 10, so he's at 98 through 8. No, excuse me, 108 through 8. And John gets 1 for an 88 through 8. The lead is down to 2. Yeah, we haven't exactly been in a position yet in these things for there to be a tie, and looks like, but there's a chance this may happen. So I don't believe this was ever discussed. So we'll see if we get there. As Freshy drops 8, leaves the 5 and the 8. Winchell needs a couple big boxes here, and gets the 6 pin to trip late. He's got just the 4 pin left. Freshy looking at the 5, 8, and he misses left. And Winchell picks that out for the spare.
Come on.
Nope,
Let's go.
nope. 98 and a ball for Winchell. Freshy misses left again for a 9 box. That's a 117 through 9. Winchell gains a pin there. The lead is 3. Plus whatever he gets here. And Winchell barely gets the head pin. And gets a good mix, drops 9, leaves the 4 pin. Got a piece of wood coming over. And Winchell gets a couple extra to carry, drops 7. He's got the 1, 2, and the 7. 7 drop gets him at 105 in the 9th, and the lead is 10. Freshy's got the 4 pin, and he's got it. Big spare in the 10th for Nick Zuffelato. He's 127 and a ball. Winchell looking at the 1, 2, and a 7, and he's got it!
Let's go!
2 marks in a row for John Winchell. 115 and a ball. The lead is 10. And remember, Brian Fuller Jr. has another spare of his own in the 5th, so they've got the extra hit. And Freshy leaves a check mark for a 6, dropping a 133. He comes out of the day with a spectacular 640. Geez, and I thought we had set records last go around. We're going to break a few more today. As Winchell with a 9 drop on his spare in the 10th. 124 in the 10th.
99, he got himself to a 624.
Yeah, not too shabby. That's how you bail yourself out. So 120.
I game on 154 in the 4th.
Yeah, 124 for a 624. The lead is 13 plus whatever Brian gets on this fill. As Barber drops 8, he's got the 5 and the 8. Fuller takes them all down. Strike on spare 3 in a row. Barber with a spare in the 6th. Brian Fuller, 86 plus 2. Dave Barber, 64 plus 1. The lead is 23.
10 times.
Only 6. So 70 through 6. Fuller drops 8.
All right, come on.
As Barber off to the right. The challengers are feeling it slipping away. As Fuller picks it up. 4 in a row.
Do it again.
Barber with the 9. 79 through 7.
Come on now.
And here we are thinking this is going to come down to the last box. It's not going to get to that point at this rate. Yep. Still 3 boxes to go. As Barber leaves the 1, 2, and 4. Fuller looking for the knockout blow.
Little help. Stick around. Oh, there you go, bud.
He drops 8. He's got the 7 and the 9. And Barber chops out just the head pin. So Fuller at... Yeah, I don't think that's... No. And plays the cap by the 7.
Nice bit. That's the way, Brian. That's it, baby. Come on now. Shoot a door here. Finish strong.
All right. Yep. Yeah, the none. Okay. Yep. Yeah. And Barber's at 88. And the champs with a 35 pin lead with 2 boxes to go. And
All right.
Fuller
grab
drop.
two and see.
Barber with the eagle. Fuller 789. And that's gonna just about do it. Fuller gets just the 1. Yeah, folks, this is it. That is it. This is mathematically over. With 1 box to go.
2-pin comeback. The lead was
At the half.
at the half.
Halfway point in the match, the challengers had a 102-pin lead. This was a 140-pin turnaround. Unbelievable. And to add insult to injury, Barber misses his 2-pinner there. And so Barber gets his 10 for a 104. And a disappointing finish. Fuller with his 9 for a 140 and a 673. Final score: John Winchell and Brian Fuller Jr. get 1 for the thumb, as you said as you indicated in the promo, with a 1297. Nick Zuffelato, Dave Barber with a valiant effort for a 1260. Unbelievable.
That is amazing, and one of the great comebacks. So if you keep it in your head, how much is enough? You know, at the midpoint of any match, if you can stick it within 140, I guess. If you got the talents of John Winchell and Brian Fuller Jr. in it.
Yeah, as I just mentioned, Nick and Dave had a 102 pin lead halfway through the match, and they win it by 37.
Have the sign off now. Congrats! Our congrats to the champs. Well done, number 5.
Unbelievable! What a comeback! What a comeback! And
doesn't matter how many pins we're down. We'll keep fighting.
Yep. The mentality. Yep, the mentality of a champion. And that's it for the final time tonight. John Winchell and Brian Fuller Jr. win their 5th money match in a row, 1297 to 1260 over Nick Zuffelato and Dave Barber. For Bob Lee, I'm Justin Scali saying so long until next time from Exeter Lanes. We'll see you in July.